Hi, Assalamualaikum. Today I will explain Aitab. Aitab or Hijrah Tuma Albai is a Syariah complaint, a car financing method we deal using in Malaysia. It follows the Islamic concept of lesson followed by sale, meaning this bank first buy the village chosen by the customer and then release it to the customer for a fixed monthly return. This method is an alternative to conventional hire purchase and avoid interest or riba, which is prohibited in Islam. Non-Muslims can also use this financing plan. Here, how the process works. Firstly, the customer choose a car. The bank purchase the car from the dealer. Then, the bank lists the car to the customer for an agreed period. During this time, the customer pays monthly retail to the bank. At the end of the lease, the customer can buy the village through a sale contract. This two-step structure ensures the transaction stays compliant, transparent, and free from interest. Aitab continues to be a trusted financial choice for the Malaysian who want to an ethical and Islamic-based way to own a car.
When it comes to issues regarding Aitab car financing, the first one being ownership responsibilities and risk. But first of all, how does Aitab car financing should actually work? Based on the perspective of a classical scholar, which is Imam al-Shafi'i, an ijara contract is about the selling of the benefit of the item and not the item itself. Since the bank is the owner of the car or the item, it should bear all the liabilities of ownership, or we call it as Tawman, right? This includes major maintenance, structural repairs, as well as insurance. The customer should only be concerned with minor maintenance as well as damages caused by negligence or misuse of the item. So let's say that Ali wants to buy a car under the Aitab car agreement. So Ali went to Maybank and the bank told him that the car will be his and sold to him on a rent basis until a certain period. But, however, Maybank will not be liable for any damages caused throughout the renting process, which is kind of weird, right? So, when banks do these things, they stop being the true owners of the car and just a mere financer at this point that looks and feels exactly the same like hire purchase conventional agreement. So, this really begs the question, does Aitab car financing is any different from conventional hire purchase agreement?
Now I will explain about the second issues, which is the binding nature of the promise to purchase or wa'ad in Aitab based on classical and modern scholars' view and my perspective from a muamalat standpoint. From the classical scholars' view, Imam Abu Hanifah stated that a promise is only morally binding, not legally binding. In the Hanafi school, a valid contract can only exist when there is offer and acceptance with immediate mutual consent. A promise is only a unilateral declaration and cannot replace an actual contract. If the promise to buy in Aitab is made legally binding, it becomes like combining two contracts in one transaction, which is prohibited in Sharia. This also removes risk from the lessor and violates the principle of al-khum bil-khurm, where profit must come with risk. From the modern scholar perspective, Dr. Aznan Hassan agrees that Aitab must involve two separate contracts, which is ijara first, then buy. However, he criticizes current practice where the customer promise is made legally binding from the beginning. When this happens, Aitab becomes similar to a conventional hire purchase system, only with Islamic labels. He emphasized that wa'ad should remain a moral commitment, not a legal obligation to protect the authenticity of Islamic finance. From a muamalat perspective, I believe Murabaha Purchase Order or MPO is better alternative. MPO provides a clear and binding sales contract from the beginning, reducing uncertainty and legal dispute. It also ensures fairness because any penalty for late payment goes to charity, not the bank profit. Therefore, MPO preserves Sharia principle while improving transparency and justice in Islamic financing.
Okay, Assalamualaikum. Today I want to share my recommendation on how Aitab car financing can be improved and why the Murabaha purchase order, which is MPO model, is often a better, clearer and more Sharia compliant alternative. I will keep this simple and focus on two issues, which is ownership and binding commitment. Okay, for the first issue is ownership. One of the main weaknesses in ITAB is the uncertainty of ownership during the transaction. Sometimes the bank status as the owner isn't fully clear, especially before the vehicle is handed over. This becomes a problem if the car gets damaged, stolen or develop defects before delivery. Who take the risk, the bank or the customer? This kind of uncertainty is considered as qarar, and Sharia discourages it. Okay. Under MPO, fix this by making the process crystal clear. Under MPO, the bank first buy the car and becomes the real legal owner. Only after that does it sell the car to the customer using markup selling price that both party agrees on the from the start. Because the bank truly owns the car, all risks before delivery fall on the bank, and the customer only take responsibility once the vehicle is transferred. The markup is justified before it reflects the bank real ownership, and the risk carries this structure reduce ambiguity and ensure transparency in the pricing payment. Okay, move to the second issue is binding commitment. In ITAB, the customer promise to buy isn't always legally enforceable. If the customer changes their mind after the bank buys the car, the bank faces the unnecessary risks. MPO solves this with a clear binding sales contract. Once the bank purchases the car, the customer is contractually committed to completing the sale. This protects both sides and stabilizes the financing. As for penalties, MPO remains ethical. Late payment penalties cannot become bank profit. Instead, they must go to CSR or charity, avoiding riba while still promoting responsible payment. In conclusion, so in my recommendation, MPO is stronger choice because it ensures clear ownership, justify markup, pricing, fair risk distribution and a binding Sharia compliant contract. Okay, that's all.